2024 has been a fun year, and one of the highlights has been seeing and photographing 11 species of owls that live in Minnesota. Technically, a 12th owl, the boreal owl, can also be found in Minnesota along the Canadian border, but I was pleased with 11. As it was, I had to drive to Louisiana for the barn owl, and to South Dakota for the burrowing. The last of these, the burrowing owl, was the first score on our big trip west this August. If you are driving through South Dakota, you need to drive through the Badlands. Turn south and Wall, maybe after getting the free ice water. Head to the Sage Creek Rim Road. There are several nice overlooks, but you are looking for the Roberts Prairie Dog Town. There are lots of prairie dogs and bison, but those darker sandy specks are burrowing owls. I first got fascinated by these owls after watching the Walt Disney true life adventure called Vanishing Prairie. This 1954 James Alger classic has lots of footage from inside the burrows. They would show the owl quickly heading toward a burrow, and then magically there was a camera and lighting waiting to track the underground movements toward an emergency exit. I never researched how they did it, but I'm guessing they built a large man-made style ant farm burrow so they could film the owls and prairie dogs in the tunnels from a side view. While the bison are rolling around on the ground, the burrowing owls are nesting underground, although they rely on the prairie dogs to do most of the excavation. Before they lay their eggs, they carpet their homes with dung, probably from the bison. This allows them to attract dung beetles, which they like to eat. They also collect bottle caps, metal foil, cigarette butts, and other junk to let everyone know this burrow is occupied. They can also stockpile small rodents underground. We read that they run instead of fly when frightened, but anytime we got close, they would fly. Except the babies, which usually don't fly for the first 6 weeks. As we walked up to this burrow, Mom watched from a distance, but the baby stayed put. He got in the burrow and kept getting lower and lower, but he kept his eye on us the whole entire time. We were able to get some great close-up photos. Instead of flying away, when we got close, this bird proceeded to raise up on its legs and then bob up and down and bow in our direction. Apparently, the cowboys called them howdy birds because of their constant bowing. The prairie also held many western meadowlarks and the upland sandpiper. The upland sandpiper is a shorebird that doesn't like wetlands. They hunt grasshoppers and other insects, and their presence indicates a quality native prairie habitat. Like this one, they are often found perched on fence posts, bobbing back and forth. We moved on to backpacking in the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming, where we spotted the constantly bobbing spotted sandpiper. There were also several white-crowned sparrows, which are winter birds across the United States, except in the Rocky Mountains. The black and white striped head make it one of the easiest sparrows to identify. Likewise, large ears make it easy to identify the mule deer, which are prevalent in the Bighorns. We fished golden trout in an alpine lake over 10,000 feet in elevation. One bird was constantly calling. It was the gray-crowned rosy finch. They are likely the highest altitude nesting bird in North America. While they let me get really close, its dark colors made it hard to photograph, even in direct sunlight. What was not hard to photograph was this bull moose. The moose are abundant in the Bighorn Mountains, and I will probably never see as many again in my life as we saw that week. We also saw this family of golden eyes. Next, our vacation took us to Banff. At Moraine Lake, the female harlequin ducks were still around. Someday I hope to see a male. The Icefields Parkway was a great spot to see bears. At Lake Louise, we were entertained by Steller's jays, Clark's nutcrackers, and some extremely friendly magpies. At Lake O'Hara, we were able to watch several baby Barrow's golden eyes splashing in the water. We also seen oriole chickadees and mountain chickadees. Back in the United States, Glacier National Park provided photo opportunities for bighorn sheep, distant mountain goats, and 2 different bears. Traveling back, we stopped at Teddy Roosevelt National Park, where we saw everything from pronghorn to cottontail to bison waiting to use our very nice bathroom, and wild horses and sharp-tailed grouse on the road. The week after returning home, we headed to the Boundary Waters. We found a spot where we were catching one rock bass after another. While we weren't interested in rock bass, a bald eagle was. One catch and release that didn't quite make it was really tempting him, but he just couldn't risk scooping it with our canoe so close. When a second eagle started showing interest, he finally nabbed the meal. I was able to capture some more bald eagles fishing, including a few juvenile. Back home in early September, we headed to the Crow Hassan to photograph the storm of monarchs in migration like I've done the past few years. There were only a few around. Hopefully they just took an alternative route. We did spot a few birds, including many migrating nighthawks who were busy eating mosquitoes. I leave you with some photos of the partial lunar eclipse. There will probably be one more video this year, as we only have 7 more birds to get to 300.